Typically, when you've placed an image inside a perfect resize, this is the end of your editing process. You've gone through, you've made a whole bunch of adjustments, now you want to resize and get it prepared to print. I've already gone through and edited this image in perfect black and white. Now I want to resize it and I want to add some sharpening and get ready to print it. On the right-hand side, there's a sharpening panel which will automatically be turned off unless you've used a specific preset that turns it on. I've gone ahead and resized my image to 40 by 60, and now I can add sharpening. I can go ahead and I can just turn my panel on, and once I do, it'll automatically apply a specific type of sharpening. There's a drop-down menu right here called Type, and this allows me to choose what type of sharpening I'd like to apply. I'm going to go ahead and use something called Unsharp Mask. Now, Unsharp Mask actually refers to an old type of sharpening based in the darkroom, where they used to take one negative that was slightly blurry and one negative that was extremely sharp, sandwich them together, and it would create the appearance of a sharper, more contrasted edge around certain parts of a photograph. This is the same idea, just the digital version. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to zoom in to 100% so I can really see how the sharpening is affecting my image. So I'll go up to my navigator and click on 100. It'll zoom me in, and now if I'd like to, I can go to a specific part of the image that I'd like to view. For example, the sign up top. Now I can go back down to my sharpening panel and I can edit the amount, which is the amount of sharpening that's being applied to my image, and then the radius. The radius refers to the width of edge contrast that it will be applying to the edges in my image. I like to keep my radius around 1 or 2, and then I like to take my amount slider and I like to move it up to about 90 to 100. Now once I've set that, it'll apply that sharpening on my image, and then I can go in and I can take a look at these two sliders called Protect Highlights and Shadows. This allows me to make sure that it protects the bright highlights. So if I go ahead and zoom back out of my image, you'll see I have two very bright highlights in the street lights that were right up above this building. If I go in and use my Protect Highlight slider, it'll go into the image and make sure that it removes the sharpness from the very bright highlights. And this will work the same in the shadows as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take both of these sliders and move them up quite a bit to make sure that it doesn't over sharpen in the areas that I don't want it to. Now if I decide to change my sharpening, all I need to do is go ahead and click on my drop-down menu and select a different type, for example high pass. Then I can go in and I can make my adjustments from there. If I decide that I want to reset anything, I can go ahead and press the reset button, or if I wouldn't like to add any sharpening at all, I can go ahead and just turn my panel off.